Hello fellas cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil. Now this is a sequel to the film that came out not long ago, and it stars Angelina Jolie, Elle Fanning and Michelle Pfeiffer. And it really looks at Maleficent and her goddaughter, Aurora, and they begin to question the complex family ties that bind them, and they are pulled in different directions by impending nuptials, unexpected allies, and a dark new forces at play. This film was directed by Joaquin Ronin, who previously directed Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Look, I didn't love this film. I didn't love the first one either. There's some ideas in this film, much like the first one I enjoyed. Angelina Jolie really steals the film. She's fantastic. She's a really great Maleficent, and she does a really great job here. She's a character you can really get behind. She's having fun. You can tell she's enjoying herself in this experience that she's having as this character and as an actress. And it's kind of, she embraces it and makes it a sort of a believable, even though she's a dark fae, which is different to human beings, which I really liked. I like the look of it. I'm a fan of sort of fairy tales at the moment, so I like films that sort of expose us to different worlds and we get to see different things. I enjoy the way the Moors look. I like the design of the characters of the fairies and the variety of things that inhabit that particular part of this world we've been introduced to. I like Aurora's, the character played by Elle Fanning. She's sort of the princess of the Moors, and I really like that. I like the dynamic and relationship she has with Angelina Jolie's character, Maleficent, and I really like their combination together. The stuff I really enjoyed was Angelina Jolie's performance, and also that we get to learn a bit more about her character, Maleficent, and we start to see that she's not the only one of her kind left. There are other dark fae, and we get to meet them through the film. This aspect of the movie I really loved. It sort of took the movie in a different direction. We got to see the characters in a different way, and we got to learn a bit more about her and where she came from and the other people who are part of her world and part of her history. And this is the stuff that really drew me in. We learn a bit more about the history of her and her kind, and that she's more powerful than any of them. And she sort of becomes their only, their ally and their hope to change things, to be treated better. I liked Warwick Davis appears in and plays a particular character, and I really like that. I like what he does there in little moments. I think Michelle Pfeiffer's fine. Like, the character's not great and she hasn't a lot to play with, but it's okay, I guess. Overall, I just didn't enjoy this film as much as I thought I could have. Besides the parts I've mentioned, it's just a big cliched mess. This is such a cliched film. We've seen it so many times. The dialogue's regurgitated from many times that we've heard in other films in the similar, genre. I'm still sticking by my concept that there's a big book in Hollywood of cliches, and each filmmaker goes and looks at this book. They may take a little bit or a whole heap. For this film, it felt like they took the whole book and used all of it. It just felt so done before. It wasn't refreshing or interesting. All the stuff it had to do with the humans, I just didn't care too much about. Where all the stuff with Maleficent and where she came from, that was so interesting because it was different and refreshing and unique compared to the rest of the film, and that's what I thought let it down quite a bit, just the clichédness of the whole thing. It's unfortunate that Disney aren't willing to take risks or do something different or make their stuff a little bit dark. Another big issue I had with this film is the fact that all the night sequences, all the sequences shot in the dark, they're just too dark. You can't really see what's going on. And I find that frustrating. I find this is something that's happening a lot in Hollywood. And as an audience member, that's really frustrating to me. I felt all the actors did the best they could with what they got. Harris Dickinson comes back once again playing the prince of the sort of film and ultimately is wanting to marry Aurora. He's fine with what he's got. He isn't a lot to do. Elle Fanning's another one I'm a big fan of hers, but she doesn't have a lot to do in this film, and she feels a little bit like a damsel in distress in many ways, and I find that kind of disappointing. Michelle Pfeiffer's okay. She's sort of, I guess, the villain of the piece. I don't know if that's giving anything away, but it's just a bit cliched, her reasoning behind what she's doing and what she's trying to do. And I don't know what I was expecting. I like the fantasy element and I like the worlds we're introduced to. This is very digital heavy, but there are aspects to it that look kind of really good and certain sequences look really interesting. Final thoughts. Look, I think this film's really about family. It's about how you can't judge a book by its cover. Just because someone looks bad doesn't mean they're completely bad. Or if someone looks good, that doesn't mean they're not bad. I thought this was a really strong element within this, and that's a strong element within a lot of the fairy tale things. But what I found a bit more refreshing with this and previous film, Maleficent isn't such a really good guy, but she's not a bad guy either. And it's sort of about the heart and the love that she has for Aurora and how that changes the way she expresses herself. I like the idea that she's sort of the symbol, this thing, you know, that she can either destroy the humans or find a way to create peace between the humans and the people of the Moors. And I really like that. And that's her guiding light, and that's a choice she has to make throughout the film. And we can see it through both sides, and we can see the decision, how hard the decision is she has to make, whether to create war or peace. And I really like that. I thought that was refreshing, and her character's kind of interesting in that regard. I'm going to give Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 3 out of 5. I thought it was average sort of movie. There were elements I really liked, but overall I didn't love my experience with this film. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.